The first leg of the quaddie is over the 1900 metres. It's the Parramatta Cup. We've got 11 not lining up here and singing. Well, this horse is just flying for Kris Lees. On pace, fights, love its attributes, and supply and demand. Gay's tough guy. Well, look, ran a bit of a shocker in Perth, but a lot better last time out.
He's a fantastic horse. Hopefully he's going okay. He's had some foot issues, some hoof issues, and he pulled up lame last start. Listed race, 1900 metres, fairly steady tempo to kick us off. Good three conditions, dry conditions on Saturday. Bear with me for the bias, Stu. The rail's out 6 metres. The last time it was out 6 metres, we had a fair track, but this time it could be near pace because it was wet the week before that day.
Rosehill, leaders, wet the track. This could be shaping up for a good day.
Yeah, definitely could be on pace bias. Looking at the three key factors to kick us off, good Rosehill track. Got to play that key factor as a result. Distance, the 1900 metre distance range is quite unique, and position and run with potential bias, you've always got to factor that in.
Well, let's kick things off with the market for this first leg of the quaddie at Rosehill Gardens, and singing has attracted some really good support in from as much as $4.60 to the $3.10 there, in form for Kris Lees, as we said. Supply and demand a little bit on the drift there for Gay, out to $4. Cars off, freshened up off that last start win. We've got Tester Shadow there at $9.50, Imperial Aviator $12, but the money's come for singing, Mike. There's a horse in form on the pace, could just be the recipe for Rosehill. Yeah,
he's a different horse lately, isn't he? He wasn't going that well for the stable a few starts ago, but he's been to Queensland, Doomben the tight track, won a couple there. Then he went to Gosford. Let's see what he did last start. It was a seriously good win. Look, the last 3 starts have been around tight tracks, which he seems to love, and his tactics have been the same the last 3 starts. Use the fact that he can corner well, use the fact that he can quicken well, and look what he does here, Stu. Gets a big margin early.
Used all his attributes, didn't he? Just did exactly that, kicked around the turn. Love a horse that can do this, and like I just said, I think this really shapes up well for Rosehill as well.
Well, he might do. He's peaked on his run at Rosie before, so maybe the tight track's better, but they're good horses behind him. Red Excitement, Mighty Lucky. That form line's got to be pretty good in this field.
Well, look, they're going to have a look at another one here. That's a horse in form, singing. Supply and demand, had some form. That Perth was a bit of a shocker, came back. Is this horse back to its form? Let's have a look here. This was a good run this day, out on the outside, in the brown, chasing hard, a winner shall start. Look, this is what do we make of this performance this day? It's a horse that chases hard. Is he back?
Yeah, I think he is. I mean, it's a horse that's so genuine. What you're looking for is the way that they finish off, isn't it, Stu? The way they pin their ears back. If they're genuine, if they're loving racing, if they're in form, they'll find the line. Even though he's got hoof issues, even though he pulled up lame, it's a pretty good run, Stu, isn't it?
Yeah, look, it's a good run, and you've always just got to ask yourself that question when it comes from the trainers, the lamers. How can we attack this race from a betting perspective as well?
You've got to be a bit worried when you hear that from Adrian Bott, for sure.
That's true. Well, look, let's get stuck into all this analysis now, Mike. The hard work's been done. Who's got all the form leading into this? And then we're going to get stuck into the key factors as we start the race here with form.
Yeah, singing, big win last start. He obviously gets a gold bar for form, but the ratings are similar for supply and demand. Light them up. They've both got great ratings for form.
Okay, so singing and supply and demand, kickstart the race. The first key factor, Mike, is this all-important good Rosehill on the weekend.
Yeah, firm Rosehill. Which horses are going to like it? Singing, it's more the Rosehill factor for him. Maybe the 400 metre straight could be a risk. He may peak. Supply and demand's won there before, but his lameness on a really firm track, just a bit iffy, isn't it, Stu?
Okay, well, Imperial Aviator just sneaking up here in the ratings as we have a look at distance.
Yeah, distance is an important factor. 1900 metres, supply and demand. Last time he got up to this distance range, he won 4 back-to-back, didn't he, last prep? So that's a big gold bar for him. Cars off 1900 metres is ideal to the metre, we think.
So supply and demand sticking his neck out there. And the last key factor here, position and run. As we end this race, Mike, I can see supply and demand's going to get a cushy one, but Imperial Aviator right up there.
Yeah, right there. Those 3 horses that get the cushy runs near the inside with the potential bias. A lot of our mates love to do speed mapping. They're the 3 that feature on the speed map for us.
So we've had a look at a few things here, Mike. We've got supply and demand, a few questions out there. Singing, up, flying. You just saw a really important one there, position and run for Imperial Aviator. We've got to have a look now at the odds. I mean, supply and demand, as we saw, is the leader here. But it's odds time, Mike. Where Imperial Aviator, it's only a link behind here. $12, got to be sneaking into the each way mix for us.
Yeah, it's got to, doesn't it? $4, $3.10. Those 2 top raters, they are right in this race. Cars off on each way chance. But the one that stands off the page there out of those top 4, which are otherwise the top ones in the market, aren't they, is Imperial Aviator. And therefore our best bet's got to be that horse. Gay Waterhouse, 2 absolutely shocking runs in Melbourne. Let's pen them. His last start over 2,400 metres was fine. He's won at Rosehill before. He's the only play in this race each way.
All right, well, there's a $12 best bet to kick things off in the quaddie this weekend at Rosehill.